I'm just saying, bro. I try to avoid all fried meals when I can, but the only time that it just feel right always is when seafood. Like if I'm gonna eat some fried shrimp, I don't want.
You don't want
broccoli and beans, man. That's just wild.
If you listening, last night I had fried shrimp, broccoli, and beans. I thought that was a wild combo. I thought that was a nice meal.
That's a wild.
It covered all the bases.
What beans? What's
starch?
Yeah, I mean,
protein. It supplemented the shrimp and the protein. You know, because
with the French fries, that would be the starch.
Yeah,
I don't. Man, that's wild, though, bro. I can't. That's wild, bro. I don't want. If I got fried fish or shrimp, I just don't want beans on my plate.
Because you thinking when you have a seafood meal, you going all the way with it. Yeah,
because I just want French fries with it, and I'm cool. Just if you're gonna fry the shrimp or the fish, that is French fries. That is
the Southeast Texas in you right there.
I think that's like a standard thing that everybody do with.
You never had shrimp and rice, fried shrimp and rice.
I can do that. You're gonna say the rice, but when you start getting into beans and broccoli, that's just
funny enough, which is still a starch.
I'm not against your concept of a starch. It's just that particular starch, which is wild.
I thought it was a nice meal. I like beans,
bro. That would have threw me off. I would have ate it because I know it was good, but I was like, man, I never had this combo. You couldn't have dipped your shrimp in anything with that stuff on your plate.
Nah,
you couldn't. I know you couldn't.
The shrimp is seasoned. And I had some fish fry left. I just used the fish fry, you know. Mm-hmm. It did what it had to do.
That's, man. Okay. I just never heard that combo.
I mean,
I never heard of that combo. It's one of those things. It's just me and you talking. So once it come out, you'll see. People will be like, yeah, that is a wild combo.
I mean, I just think it's not the normal combo, but like I'm not
mad at it, though.
It's a meal. I don't understand.
To be honest with you, I'm not even beefed out with the broccoli, bro. Was it ranch style beans?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't understand the abnormality of my meal. Honestly, I just think that you're used to eating it with fries, and because I didn't have fries.
But like I say, rice, that's common. Dirty rice. Even if you went to if you had some mac and if you went the soul food side route with it, but.
I went the not a lot of dishes route.
Yeah, for sure.
One pot for everything. Mm-hmm. If I want to be completely honest.
Yeah.
One pot for the shrimp, beans, broccoli, boom.
It come down to it sometimes.
I started cooking at 8:30. I hate cooking late.
Yeah, that is kind of late.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what would you have made? Like,
what took the longest to cook the broccoli?
They are a pretty quick meal. Yeah, the broccoli because I
know the shrimp take no time, and the beans just got to heat them up.
I know, unless you're doing it. Actual beans, and I ain't there yet.
Soak them things
overnight. Overnight. I mean, I know the process to get them done. I was just like, I'm not doing that. But what you would have made? Like you like, man,
with my shrimp?
No, what you would have made at 8:30 at night, and you just go starve.
Nah, I probably would if I. Yeah, honestly, bro, that's too late, bro. I wake up early, bro. I just attack it in the morning. I'm not mad. I get you. I'm with you. It's a wild combo. But in context, at 8:30,
I'm gonna stand on it.
But if it was earlier, you would have made that combo, or you would have did something different?
I would have did something else.
Okay, all right.
Well, because I opened my pantry. You don't open your pantry like, okay, what am I gonna do?
Okay, so that was the best of the rest type meal.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, see when you say it like that, but if you say you cognizantly said, nah, I won't.
No, I won't be. No.
I gotta have beans and broccoli with my fried shrimp.
It did like the broccoli. I bought it some days ago, and I don't want to go bad. It's fresh broccoli.
Oh, okay.
So it's like the broccoli got to get.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't want to go bad.
But see, if you would have just structured it like that, we wouldn't even went through that. Because I'm like, oh well, yeah, that happened. I'd have had some combos.
Yeah. I mean, everybody had a little. I would just throw this stuff together. I'm eating it. Wasn't nobody else eating it.
I said, bro, this spinach going bad. I got to do something with it.
I kind of got some spinach in there right now that's doing the same thing.
Got to put it in something.
But I had to get ready, Had to get ready for episode 22 of the Transferable Experience podcast. You're here with your boy June and your boy Ed, my best friend. How you doing today, bro?
I'm good. I thought we were still going to give them a little music, no?
Oh, you want some more?
Too late.
No, I'm about to say, they got dreams.
It's okay.
That's a classic.
Yeah, and I got a little bit of that. I'm good, man. I'm real good. I worked 11 hours overtime this week, man.
Hey, hard-working black man.
It'd be more exciting if that, equated to money, not time. But, time is good, too. It'll get utilized.
Shout out to the wage workers. Shout out to the salary earners.
Yeah.
It's a hard road for some of y'all, man.
Yeah, bro.
You put that time in.
I would always, if it's an option, I would always rather get paid hourly.
But what's the incentive? The incentive is that like you put more work in so you look better and that's what you can use to leverage a raise or a promotion when it comes time.
What, like putting extra time in?
Yeah.
For me, I just got stuff that got to be done, and
the
time is the time.
I was about to say you can leverage that when it comes to.
I mean, I guess it showed that you like.
I've been at my job for a year.
It's. I guess you would view it differently. Somebody working extra when they're getting paid compared to when they're not getting paid. Because if I was to look at if I say who want to make some money, like if I was talking to some hourly people and say, well, if I was the boss, I'd say, well, who want to make some extra money? I know you coming there because you want to make some extra money. You don't want to be here, but
but the money.
But if I'm saying, hey, some of y'all, we need to come Saturday.
We need some people to come in,
and there's no money involved. You look at it different, or you realize they don't really have as much motivation.
Yeah.
So
that's an interesting thing, how to inspire motivation and everything like that.
But like I said, we get paid in time. So I worked 11 hours, so time and a half. So that's like around a little over 16 hours of time I get to use now, which is like 2 days. So I made, so I got 2 days now.
Oh, okay. See, that I can understand that.
So it's like, it's not nothing, it's not just a thank you.
Like you're going to get this time back in somewhere.
Yeah, it's like, it's just going to a bank, like what the rest of your vacation time where you say, oh, I got this much time. It just adds to that, So I mean,
now you got 11 more hours or whatever it is.
Yeah, so I can use that whenever. So it's kind of
that's gonna come in.
Yeah, that's why I was like, it's not like the worst, but if it was money, though,
if it was money, it was money.
That'd be different. But I mean, that's the second best thing.
And then I guess the thinking is also like, I'm gonna need this extra hours at some point. I mean,
yeah, man, you want to duck off early, might
have a little excursion,
and then, man. With the world opening, and they announced like 19 concerts this week, man.
Oh yeah.
And then they like all on like nasty days,
Wednesdays.
So like, because I know I got my Blast tickets, and that concert's Sunday, so I'm taking that Monday off. And see, I can use my time for stuff like that. You ain't as pressed. Normally if you only got a little bit of time, you got to really like be strategic. And,
like, okay, I'm gonna work this day so I can get this day. And
okay, I mean,
I'm gonna ask 2 weeks in advance because I know about.
So we don't have to do that though. So now I just get to kind of just use the time when I want to. So it balance out in the grand scheme of things. It's not money, but it's the next best thing.
I don't want to sound elitist because I'm not elitist at all. Because I'm not even up there. But like, is it easier to get off days now in like just the workplace in general?
I don't
know, man. I find that like I've been having like within the last like 3 years, I know that like through experience I've been getting like better jobs. But it's been getting like increasingly easier for me to get a day off.
Yeah.
Like I got a boss like my boss right now, he literally tells us like, well, if y'all need a day off, take it. Like he's like, you need to be able to work when you're working. And if you need a day off to like recharge or stuff. I don't know. I just think that now that kind of stuff is at the forefront, like mental health.
I'm about to say, because we get like a mental health day.
Yeah.
The funny thing about our mental health day, though, if you want to use your mental health day, you have to, per the whatever it's called, the manual procedure book. I don't know.
Policy.
I can't think of the name. Yeah, whatever that is. Technically, we had to let them know 48 hours ahead of time if we want to use a mental health day. I was like, so I'm supposed to know
that's not
3 days ahead of time that I'm going to be mentally exhausted on 3 days from now, and I'm going to need that time off.
So they want you to gradually crack and be like, nah, I can't do it Thursday. It's Monday. I ain't going to be able to do it Thursday.
I know I can't make it.
I know I can't make it on a Thursday.
But they kind of laughed at that, and it's like, you don't have to do that because that's kind of like,
that's like
if it's a mental health day,
I was about to say that's not what the day is for.
That's kind of like, that's kind of like buried in the moment, that kind of, I mean, it might build up sometimes, but
a lot of that is just
Yeah, you wake up that day and you just say, I can't go. I just don't have it in me.
I didn't have them days.
I was like, that's the funny thing with me though. I don't really like, because I always think like if I'm off and like, you know, everybody in our little bubble or like people that just got 9-to-5 jobs. So it's like, if I'm off, what am I do at that time? Like if I just take off, I don't like taking off day, well, unless I just need it, you know. If
as far as like some business or dealing with something.
Or if I'm just like to that point where I just need an extra day because I'm exhausted or something. But I don't want to just take off a random day and just be at home with nothing to do when everybody else at work anyway.
Yeah. It's kind of like back in the day when you like got to stay home from school, but you realize like everybody at school.
So
like,
what are you going to do now?
Yeah, what you going to do now? Like, yep. So, I understand that.
Yeah, I don't really just like I say, if it's something where I need it, like I'm doing something, I got to take it off. I'll do that. But like I say, I'm gonna start taking it off because I just got the time, you know. So
I just don't
concert the day after. It's a Sunday. I don't want to go to a concert at night, then have to go to work in the morning.
And that makes sense. Yeah, that's a lot of energy expended.
So
you know what I'm saying. And I just don't find myself having to do the strategic thinking like you said anymore. Yeah. Especially with the stuff I got coming up, like you said, I got some concerts I'm going to, but all my concerts are like September, October. Then I'm going to the Conway show. I'm going to the Kevin Gates show because I got to see him. You know what I'm saying? I know.
What? Give me 3 songs
that I want to see.
World, yeah, that he could perform. He would perform.
Angels. Oh. Pouring the Perfect Imperfection. And it's so many. I know he ain't gonna do Twilight. He ain't gonna go back that far. I know.
Kevin Gates, he a good performer, man.
If he give me Twilight, I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied. If he give me 2 out of those 3, because Perfect Imperfection is like one of my favorite Gates songs. And it's a pretty known song. But now that he has more stuff out, if it was a song that's going to get slid out the rotation, it's probably that one. And Twilight, man, that's like a shot in the dark for me.
That's just the part. Yeah.
I'm gonna listen to that on the way to the show just to get myself ready, type stuff like that.
Are you like one of those type of people? Like before concerts, you want to listen to the artist you about to go listen to?
Nah, not really.
I personally don't.
Nah, I don't. I don't want to get tired of it.
Yeah, I was like, bro, we about to go see this live. I don't necessarily want to hear this right now. I want to listen to music, but not what we about to go listen to live.
And most of the times, like it'd be a little jam session before they come on anyway. So like, you know, like you gonna have to like wait. It's not like you listening to Gates and then you going right in and hear Gates.
I forgot about that portion of concerts where they like before people come out, they be playing music. Sometimes they be really good.
Man, when I was in New York and I went to the Freddie Gibbs show, I loved that portion because I was in New York hearing New York songs in New York. So it was so good to see how they react to the songs that I felt like were New York anthems. Like I Really Mean It by Dipset.
Yeah.
Boy, well that's like Mo City done to them. That came on and just to forget it, everybody, oh man, I'm telling you, it was live. I loved it personally. Yeah. I want to go back. But yeah, concerts are coming up. Outside is opening back up. Is getting me pretty excited.
Yeah, getting back to like really like a sense of normalcy, like real normal, where it's like events and stuff going on.
Because we talk about it, man, like, and we've talked about it earlier, like, well, now that I look at my life now, it's like I don't really do much like I used to. I'm not like hitting every club, hitting such and such. Like, I want to do the things I like, and I like concerts. You know what I'm saying? I love music, like. So like now that that's back, that's like, man, that's something to do now. Like,
yeah, that was pretty big for me because I do enjoy going to concerts thoroughly. So, because I was like, dang, I forgot how much I like doing it.
Yeah,
you know. So.
Interesting week for me, man. And this kind of what I wanted to get into. So, you say you worked overtime this week. I've been kind of getting some extra hours this week as well because I'm training someone. And let me tell you what happened. Now, I might sound like an asshole, but I don't try to be. Dude, we training. He jumped in with me Tuesday. So, like, I'm showing him the ropes, driving him around and things like this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have a work car that I use to get to my different appointments and stuff like that. And I've been having this work car for just about a year now. You know what I mean? This trainee just got hired like a couple of days ago. Gets in the car, we drive, we do the first appointment, good. Then we go to the second appointment, good. This dude like turned the AC on like 4 and like put it on like full blast and like adjusted the temperature. Now look.
Is it like dual?
No.
Oh man.
So look. It's not necessarily my car because it belongs to the company.
Yeah.
But I'm personally responsible for it. I gas that mug up. I take it to the car wash. I cleaned it up.
I said, but that's your company vehicle.
Yeah, but it's my car. You know what I'm saying? So when he did that, I gave him like a little side eye at first. And I was like, hold on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? You new here. And it ain't really just about him being new, but it's like, you're coming into my environment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I blew that off. That happened like Wednesday. Tuesday come. You know, I be on the ox. You know what I'm saying? Because then again, it's my car. And I go and I pick him up. So whatever I'm listening to, he just got to jump in and just. Yeah. Every now and then he would ask for a song. You know what I'm saying? I throw it in there.
What was one of the songs he requested out of curiosity?
Oh, shoot. Oh, man. Because he asked for a song. He played like. I can't remember the song. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look at my.
Was it like rap music?
Yeah, it was like a rap. It was like a melody rap, like a Smino type of thing. Okay. So that's one of the ones like it don't ruin the vibe. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, okay. Oh well. I'm trying to see if it's still in here. Oh, Ro James. That's who he played.
That's
Lost
R&B.
Lost My Mind. You want me to play it real quick? You want me to? No? Okay. No. Anyways, I'll put it in the description. Y'all can listen to it. Go listen to it. It's actually a cool song. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? I throw his stuff in there.
That's interesting. James.
I throw his stuff in there. You know, it's cool. We driving. Now, this what happened. And this is what I want to shed a light on. I was listening to my music. And then he like tried to turn it up. And then that's when I said, hold on, man. I said, bro, you got to ask first, bro. Like, bro, don't just come in here and just start touching stuff, bro. Like, I got things set up the way they are for me on a daily. And I'm doing all the driving. If we crash this mug, he ain't going to get in trouble. I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this thing went out of gas, they're going to say, Jew, why you didn't put no gas in it? Come on. If it's super dirty, they're like, Jew, why you didn't take it to the... You know, it's my responsibility. Therefore, it's my environment. You know what I'm saying? And it really is. Like, that car is me, so to speak. And it just made me think, like... Because at the end of the day, when I dropped him off, he was like, man, appreciate the day, man. I learned so much. He's like, I'm sorry, man. I won't touch your radio again. And he's a white guy. But anyway, he's like, I won't touch your radio again. And I was like, bro, it ain't just about you touching the radio. Like, you changed the AC. You touching the radio. Like, bro, you know what I'm saying? I provide a welcome environment, I know, but like, you got to ask those things. Like, you know, that's important to me.
Setting boundaries.
That's a boundary, bro. And I know that, like, that's what we want to get into. And I was like, that's so crazy that happened to me this week. And it made me think, like, I could have told him, and this is why I want to ask you this. I could have told him when he first got in the car, hey, I'm Julius. These are the things I like. These are the things I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like, like that's a way to set a boundary, but like
that's intense.
But it's intense.
Like,
yeah, okay. Golly, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could have got it like, hey, don't touch the radio, don't touch the AC.
It can be very like abrasive.
And I mean, have you been in a situation like that where you had to like I knew that was a boundary for me, but I didn't have. I don't know. I didn't have the. I don't know, like the signal to even enforce it until it happened.
Yeah,
which kind of made me sound after the fact, because I could have said that before, but I didn't. Have you ever experienced, like, I don't know, what do you even think about that situation?
I mean,
that was like 3 questions. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it happens. A lot of times, like you said, you don't want to come off like rude or like just too much. Like that's really being abrasive. Like
yeah, like
I didn't touch it. Like, or like,
yeah, like, dang, I just got in this car. Like, I just met you.
Hello. Like, you just instantly start with all that. Like, my goodness, that can be intense. I'm about to say, and that doesn't foster, and that could be off-putting to some. And like you said, you're trying to foster a welcoming environment.
Yeah,
and that can like.
They can make you
do
seem
the
like
opposite. Yeah. You was instantly just, as soon as you get in the car, you just state all your boundaries. But I think that's kind of like what a lot of people do. They like don't want to. They fear trying to, coming off the wrong way,
because
you wait for the situation to arise and then you set it.
Or you let that know. You let that be known that this is one of them.
Yeah. Because I like. Technically, the definition of boundaries is guidelines, rules, or limits that a person creates to identify reasonable, safe, and permissible ways for other people to behave towards them and how they will respond when someone passes those limits. And it's like, the thing about boundaries, they so important in like life, but the funny thing is most boundaries are through like, you learn people boundaries through trial and errors, Yeah. Like you almost gotta cross it, but you don't know you crossing it because it's not like drawn, like you can't see the line. Then it's like when you cross it, it just like come to life, and you can see it now, and it's like, okay, I know not to do that anymore. But boundaries are like good and they're like healthy. But I mean, like I say, honestly, like. I don't know. Boundaries are tough, man. Because like I said, you don't want to come off the wrong way, but boundaries are important to set. And I think like, it's just like, I feel like in certain aspects of life, boundaries are easier to create than others. Like professionally, like they give you that job description with expectations.
Yeah, they do.
Heck, they even have on there, you need to be able to lift up to 50 pounds.
Yeah,
like, hey, you might have to lift something. Don't be surprised.
Don't be surprised when we ask you.
And it's like they give you that job description on purpose. So like that's a boundary saying this is what you're supposed to do, and like you should know this. So act accordingly.
The expectation has already been set or given to you.
Yeah. So you can't say, oh well, I didn't know. No,
you did.
Supposed to read your job description. So. And then, like, even like in like an interpersonal communication, like I've always found, because me personally, when I'm at work, I like to keep it professional. I don't like getting into my personal life. I may throw in some type of little small tidbit to show that I'm human, but I'm not,
You're not running down your weekend to your coworker.
I'm not doing it. And that's my boundary. Like I've worked with people that
they want to do
I know
that.
they got a date tonight. They get deep into that. They get deep into their person. Me?
Yeah.
How was your weekend? Oh, it was great.
Okay.
I just relaxed, took it easy. I say that. You asked me that about 2 or 3 Mondays in a row. You get it. Don't like we can talk, but nah, we're not. I'm not here to share my personal life
because you keep working personal life separate. Yeah,
that's my boundary.
That's a boundary.
I don't like to like. I'm not. I don't want to hang out with anybody I work with personally. Now we can do something as a work group together after work, but that's not me. That's still
That's
you
still,
getting a work version, like and we're not in the environment. I'm not about to go to.
We can
we can do something like go eat, or
we ain't about to go to ecstasy together.
Or we go bowl, just a group activity. But I'm
that
not,
fosters,
and that's just my boundary. And like I say, I just create that early. Like I don't really.
It's funny. The timing of boundaries is so important as well, right? Because look, take my example. When he when he touched the AC the first day, I didn't say nothing. I could have nipped it in the bud right there.
Yeah.
But when he touched the radio, I knew like this is something I gotta say because when he did the AC, it made me uncomfortable. I didn't feel like that was permissible. Yeah. At least without letting him know. You know what I mean? Like I want to let you know first. Like this is something I'm not cool with.
Yeah.
Because number one, you're making a solo. Now that you're here, a solo space is a shared space now. So now I'm not only looking out for like me and what I need. You have things that you need as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's telling me that like he sweat easy and stuff like that. Okay, that's cool. Like that's why I said ask though. Like that's how you can kind of like cut through a lot of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like a good way to temper boundaries by asking before you do something.
Like, is it okay if I do you mind if I?
Especially like you say, you in like someone else's environment. You don't know how they like stuff ran. Like. You know how wild it is to just go to somebody's house and instantly go change the thermostat?
Oh, my God.
Well, I was hot, but you don't live here. Like
that is almost, you might get shot over that. But that's a crime.
That's
a crime that's not a crime.
You too comfortable. I like to foster a welcoming environment of comfort too, but I got boundaries with how comfortable I want you to be honest.
Boy, but first he would go look at my thermostat, I might be like, that's when, hold on, wait, bro.
To just go touch my thermostat and change it.
No, that is actually very, very inconsiderate. And looking at the definition, like where it said rules or limits that a person creates to identify reasonable, safe, and permissible ways. Like, I don't know. When I told him don't touch the radio, because that's something that like it's my music, bro. Like, to be honest, that's what get me through the day. It's hot as hell outside.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's pretty hot.
Some of these customers be out their body, talking out the side of their neck at me. The music was what calms me down. For somebody like mess with the radio and all doing all that, I was like, hey man, you messing with my peace right there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just thought that it was very inconsiderate. And when it comes to boundaries, because boundaries, like when you're talking about them, it's a confrontational thing. It is because like you said, like you don't know it's there until it happened.
Yeah, and at that point, if somebody bringing it up, that probably means you crossed it.
Yeah, you crossed it. You know what I mean? Like,
but it's like I get that's my struggle.
When it's crossed?
No, I know who I am and I know my boundaries. But when do I tell them to you? Like you said, if I just meet a person, should I say, "Hey, I'm Ed. Here are my boundaries." Like, that's like too much too soon. But it's like, you don't want to let it go on too far though, because if you let it go on,
it becomes
then you try to bring it up, they'll be like, well, I've never done this before. Why are you acting like this now? Like, what changed? Like, and you'd be like, well, that's been my boundary. Then they'll say, well, why didn't you say something sooner? Then you'd be like, well, I didn't want to be rude. Well, if it was bothering you so much, so then it's like a circle where it's like you kind of danged if you do, danged if you don't, So I think the timing of boundaries is very important. And like I say, I've learned up until this point in my life, I've learned everybody boundaries through trial and error. Like, okay, that's too far. Okay, don't touch that. Seriously, and that's how most people learn boundaries. And like, is that the healthiest way to learn boundaries? No.
Like, look, this next quote that comes from the article, it says, healthy boundaries are those boundaries that are set to make sure mentally, emotionally, you are stable. Like you just said, like, I know one of my boundaries is like, don't bring new people to my house without telling me that you're bringing them. Like, if you was coming here, you'd be like, hey, Drew, I'm bringing my homeboy, blah, blah, blah. I know him from such and such. But for you to show up with just another nigga just at my door, I'm like, man, what the hell is this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just another person. Especially when I'm under the impression that it's just you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because I know how me and you do. And I know how our space is. But the reason why I need to keep me emotionally stable and mentally stable, because I do like to know somebody's connection, like kind of like know the link, so it doesn't be so awkward when we're talking. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And I value my home space to be sacred, so I don't just necessarily just want a bunch of people, just random people in my space,
in your space, because it's yours.
Especially if you just bombard me with it by not even telling me that you had people with you. Yeah. Or if you say, okay, we about to head that way. I'm like, wait, who is who?
Who is we? Yeah. Who is we, man?
Yeah, who is we? Because I don't like that. But like I say, I think that's the thing with boundaries. Like, they're so important, and everybody have them. Like, there's nobody that don't have some type of boundary, whether you are cognitively aware of it or not. You have a boundary.
Yeah, and to be honest, like you said, like I didn't realize that was so important to me until it happened, until he touched the radio. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know it was there until he did that. And I don't know, and how boundaries are even like constructed is a deeper psychological thing that we don't have to get into. You know what I'm saying? Because
that kind of get up into your makeup and who you are.
Yeah, I'm about to say
past
like,
experiences.
And traumas, like a lot of it's formed from traumas, like, and that's why I say keep yourself emotionally, mentally stable, because that might be a trigger for somebody. Might be a dude that got robbed once, but he showed with a new person at his house, like that's triggering, like, you know what I'm saying?
Or he just had somebody over to his house that he didn't know, and it was in his personal space, and he was just really uncomfortable. It's like, couldn't tell me you was bringing somebody over.
You ever do you feel like boundaries are final? Like, you ever had a boundary that you like relaxed? Like, okay, that's not really that.
No, I think that's the thing about boundaries. It's like you as a person, you change over time. You know, like what would have been a boundary for me at 17? Do I care as much? You know, like, so I think, and that's kind of what the article spoke on too, like boundaries, or, you know, they change as people change, you know, it's not the same. And, but I guess that's why you have to communicate that. But I mean, again, man, it's just when do you communicate that? Like, I guess
I think you go ahead. My bad.
But no, you can go ahead.
No, I think you say it as soon as it happens. But like the language used when explaining it is so important. Yeah. If you did something like, "Damn, nigga, why you did that?" That's different than, "Hey, man, I know you probably ain't know, but that's just something that like I'm not really comfortable with." You don't got to go too deep, but I know a person like me, I'd be like, you know, this is what it kind of does to me. If you can respect that, we would probably work out better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if you word it like that, how can you be
not
mad at that? Like, okay. Well,
but if I be like, "Damn, nigga, why you did that?" You'd be like, "Damn, hold on, you know what I'm saying?" Like, all I did was change the thermostat. You know what I'm saying? Or like, you know what I'm saying? I think that language, I think when it comes to that, I think that's when you say it. But you do have to teach yourself. That's why I say it's so tied with confrontation, because you got to teach yourself, how do you handle confrontation? Do you handle it like with a hot head, with a strong iron fist, or do you approach it with like understanding, like, okay, let me just clear this out the way right now?
And like, did that just cross a boundary, or was that like just straight up disrespect, no matter how you look at it? Like, somebody slapping you ain't a boundary, you know?
No, that's true. That's just disrespect.
Compared to somebody, you know, having a +1 and not telling you. It's
like that's
a boundary. That's not necessarily disrespect.
That's true.
Or somebody calling you in the wee hours of the night.
Yeah,
because that's my thing.
Yeah,
like,
I know that was one of yours.
And that kind of do stem from like just like kind of not trauma is I take that word serious, so I wouldn't say necessarily trauma,
like a conditioning,
just out of experience. Like, if one of my male friends hit me up late, it's never for something good. That means something just happened, you know, and they like conveying the message to me. So anytime somebody reach out to me past a certain time,
like something can only ever be this important if it's
like you're not texting me at 1:00 to tell me that you ate Subway for lunch, you know? Yeah. So it's like if you hitting me up or trying to call me at midnight, oh, this must be, especially if you call, and that's why I'm real. Text or text. You get to them when you get to them. I don't really, I don't care if you text me, but if you calling me like after 9, Like at 10:30 on a Wednesday, you calling me like, what? What's going on? But then if you just say, hey, I was just seeing if you wanted to work out tomorrow. No, don't do that. So like I said, that's why that's a boundary for me. Like not calling me after a certain time because I associate that with something being wrong or urgent or something serious.
Yeah. Because I've been on the phone with you and it's like, okay, so what we doing? You know what we need to do. But if it's just a touch, like, bro, you could have just told me that tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Or just text me. That way I know it's like, you just trying to notify me or something compared to calling me.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the later, bro, the worst. Oh, man. Like, if you were to call me.
I've made that mistake.
After midnight.
Oh, no, I ain't never did that, baby.
Like that late, I'm really going to be upset if it's just for something. Like,
minuscule.
Or just something that's not serious. It's like, and that's, like I say, that's just a boundary for me because I associate late phone calls with something serious.
Emergencies.
Emergencies.
Emergencies. Yeah. Nah, man, that's actually a great boundary to have because your sleep is important. You wake up early. You know what I'm saying? You have an early start to your day, so you need that rest. And even if it's not in the form of sleeping, you know what I mean? It's your time to recharge.
And relax.
Yeah, for sure. That's very interesting. Because we've been talking about it like platonically, but like even romantically. Like, and this goes into like knowing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like knowing what works for you or how you like to be handled. Because like life doesn't happen in a vacuum, bro. My experience that I've had is totally different from yours, Ed. What works for you is a product of your, experiences. I know I said trauma, but conditionings, way of life. And my makeup is of that too, which could be two totally different walks of life.
No one has this same exact life.
Yeah, it's not, you know what I mean? And in relationships, which I do believe are trial and error, I discovered a lot of my boundaries. When I started dating at like 16, I didn't necessarily know that like I want to be blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Some tried. I wasn't really vibing with it. Okay, that's not for me.
Yeah.
Or like 2 years down the line, we on the phone, we get in an argument. The first thing you do is yell. That's a boundary. Like, dang, like that's crossing a boundary with me because I wouldn't do that to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just call my phone straight up hollering without no discussion, no kind of like, you know what I'm saying? I can see if you get like throughout the conversation, we get emotional and passionate. Yeah. But the call and like straight off the bat, I don't rock with that. And I found that out through my dating experience. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that when you're in a relationship, it brings a lot of those boundaries to the forefront.
Yeah, definitely in a romantic relationship, it does. And then, like you say, like a lot of them, you don't even know until it come up, and then you be like, I don't like that. But like I said, again, like I think the key to boundaries is kind of like self-discovery, which is knowing yourself to know what you do like and don't like, and then the boundaries that entails. Because I know, on a romantic level, like one of my main boundaries is I don't like being talked to like crazy. Like,
okay.
Like you don't have to get disrespectful or just, to get your point across. Yeah. Like I got comprehension skills, so you can just say,
yeah, that's the worst.
You upset me when you did this. You don't have to call me out of my name.
Yeah, you acting like an idiot right now.
Or belittle or downgrade me. Like, nah. We don't. I don't.
I have a lot of things, but I know I ain't dumb. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to say, and then that boundary for me was because, like, in my household, we might joke and stuff, but like, it was always a certain level of respect. We not going around calling people stupid or like using any type of words that kind of like
derogatory.
Or that just belittle you or something like that. So I always say, like my mama don't talk to me that way. Like, so I just don't like being talked to. That because it's not necessary. Like if you tell me you was frustrated with me, I understand that means, you were upset. Like you don't have to like try to like make me understand you, like
double down on it.
By doing that, like or you say you felt disrespected. I understand what being disrespected, meaning like the weight that holds, you know. So I think that's like my main one. But like I say, man, just boundaries is like they important, and like it can be awkward, you know, to just kind of have that talk. But I feel like, you know, that's so necessary for people to understand their boundaries, to even know how to interact with you.
And it kind of bleeds over into like we had a podcast earlier in the year about forgiveness. Because I think that's also included in like boundaries.
Yeah, because it's like it's hard to be mad if you didn't tell.
Yeah, it's like, how can I be mad if he didn't know?
I'll say again, outside of something that's just universally disrespectful, but like if they don't know, you can't really fault them for that. Like,
and that be the most fuzziest feeling especially in like relationships. And I say relationships because it could be friend or, you know, intimate. It's just explaining it like, dang, like, I'm trying to convey to you that I didn't like something. And maybe I'm just discovering that this is a boundary for me. And I hate that you're kind of on the brunt, receiving the brunt of it. But I promise you, like, it's only because of.
And it's not like you trying to attack them. Because at the end of the day, if they didn't know, because there's been a lot of situations like that. Where I'm like, well, I didn't. Or you'd be like, I didn't know. And that's true. So it's like, and like I say, it's just like communicating that the right way. And I think you, like the way you worded that earlier was perfect, where it's like you give context and you're not trying to say it in like a demonstrative way, or like a way of like to be like attacking them to make them feel attacked. You kind of just explaining stuff from your end and explaining how that's a boundary for you. And then like I say, if you word that the right way, it's like, how do you get offended by somebody telling you, you know, with context and stuff, like rather than saying, I don't like that, don't do that. It's like, okay. It just helps people when they have a context to be able to better understand. Because like at the end of the day, you're the only person that's been around you all your life. No one else has. So I don't know that in third grade or something, somebody slapped you at the back on the back of your neck, and from then, you know, like
you don't like people behind you.
It's like I just don't know that kind of stuff. So without you explaining it and communicating it, it's like,
and that's funny because it makes me think about, how do you react when you've crossed somebody's boundary?
Oh, me? I cross boundaries all the time, so I just apologize and make sure it don't happen again. I look for understanding. I apologize. And I know, well, we already talked about this in the forgiveness episode, but I'm just saying, like, if you can give me the context, I would never forget it. You know what I mean? Like, if I call you at 12 o'clock in midnight and you really say, like, Jude, that's not a good time for me because I'm associated with emergencies. I think something is seriously wrong and it's not. That's, like, not cool. You know what I'm saying? I would never forget that, as opposed to you just being like, bro, don't do that again. That kind of made me feel shut out. Now I understand. Now we got more context because we're friends and like we have love for each other. But if it's like a general person, you might not want to dive into that. But you can also be like, hey, bro, that's not cool. That's not how I rock. You know what I mean? It's not your fault, but like, so you know for next time. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, that's why like I try to just kind of be a little transparent with people, and at least enough for them to like. To give them some type of context to know I'm not like just
I ain't pissed off.
Saying like, oh, okay, I didn't really like it, but no, I'm saying like, hey man, I'm not really fond of being called out my name. That's just not something I'm into. So
and then that same token, Ed, I would be very intent with the apology too. When you do call somebody like, bro, I ain't trying to mess with you or nothing. Like, I really didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like this, like. I don't know. I'm just trying to like see it from both sides. Like the same energy we got with like it being crossed is the same energy I would like to have when I do cross. Like, hey, bro, I'm sorry if that really moved you in a negative way, but
and like for me, bro, I don't move with malicious intent. So if anytime somebody say something bothered them, I can apologize. And then like you know me, man, when I was a little younger, I kind of just didn't, I would just speak my thoughts. So of course I've crossed plenty of boundaries. So I got good at apologizing and moving accordingly once I cross a boundary. That's trial. Like I say, it's trial and error too.
Trial and error, man.
Like so like I say, and like I said, that ain't even though I speak my mind and stuff, that's still never like my intent to like, you know, to be malicious anyway. So if I'm doing something and you communicate it to me that is harming you in some form, I'm not going to do it anymore. Yeah. Me personally, I'm just not like.
I'm sorry. I'm pulling up because this week I kind of posed the question to our listeners, and I kind of just wanted to like highlight a couple of things that were said and maybe we can react to them. So I will read what I asked. These are the questions that I asked. I said, how do you handle setting / enforcing boundaries? Do you struggle with it? And the set follow-up question was, have you ever set a boundary and realized that it wasn't needed later on, which is what I asked you. Yeah. Then one of our frequent listeners, our boy Scott. Shout out to Scott. He out there in New York. He do a lot of good work with the solar industry. So shout out to you, Scott. And if you listen to this, I love you, boy. This is how I know if you listening. He says, setting boundaries is something that I find myself continuously working on. Professionally, I have always found it difficult as a young professional because I'm constantly wanting to learn more and take on more responsibility. I have learned to be very direct with my supervisors about the impact and downstream effects of too much. You know what I mean? He said, he didn't say that. But anyway, I have been lucky to have supervisors who respect that and are cognizant of my issue with taking too much on. Socially, it's even harder because I care a lot about the people in my life. Again, I try to communicate if I need space, but struggle with holding the line sometimes. And this makes sense. Also, this is somebody I have a lot of context with because we live together. And sometimes that be it, bro. Like, I don't know, like when I want to know so much about a person, like you said, like you just be rambling off thoughts. Like I'm gonna ask them a lot of questions just because like I'm a social person and I'm really trying to like dig into the person that you are. Yeah. Because crossing the boundary isn't monolithic. It isn't just like down to like an action. It can be through conversation, through, thought. So if I ask you like, man, like, dang, that's an interesting scar. Oh, I got it when I got burned. Like, was that something like, did you like, were you around? Like, was there something that happened at your house? They might got a deep, troubling story about that burn.
Yeah, don't really want to talk.
Yeah, but I'm just asking about it because I've seen it.
And when people say something like, when I'm just getting to know them, they're like, I don't really want to talk about that. I'm like, oh, okay, so that might be a boundary. Yeah. Don't really bring that up.
Yeah.
But no, that's kind of like just to go into a piece of that. Dang, I lost what I was saying. Well, I understood when he was talking about like when he was a young professional because when I kind of got like my first big break in the industry I wanted to be in, it was at a startup and like my, job duties and title was this, but I had technically like 3 other jobs I was doing as well. And like, I could kind of relate to where he was saying because it's like I had waited so long to finally get this job, which is kind of like a dream job of mine and something I couldn't even imagine for myself that now I'm willing to do almost everything that's asked of me because this is what I've always wanted, even though technically like this isn't in my job description, but I'm young. I don't have an experience.
You're just a sponge.
And it's like they always say like, like experience is the hardest thing to get, but that's the main thing they look at, know? So it's like, I need this to be able to even do anything else because I got to get experience. And it's like you take on more and more. And I could relate to that because it was like that with me. And it was just like, I never said no matter like, even if I thought I could or if it was too, I just always wanted to show that I was a team player. And like, because I say I was young and they like, I didn't have any experience, so I knew they took a chance on me, so I didn't want to let them down. So like anything they asked of me, and then like I say, eventually I kind of once I got comfortable, I started being open and being like, honestly, you've already gave me this and this. I can't do anything else right now, or if you could give me some help, that would be great. Rather than just taking it on and just because I would literally have like. My dreams would be about what I had to do the next day at work because I just had so much to do. And I'd be like almost anxious because like I just knew it was going to be a long day. I wasn't going to have as much help as I needed. If I had the help, it wouldn't be bad, but it was going to be all on me. And because I went through that, so I completely understand. Like when you were a young professional starting out, and like I say, that magical E word, that experience you don't have, man. And once you get that chance, you want to
take advantage of it.
Yeah, and like not do anything that'll mess it up. So you just want to, be able try to please them and whatever they ask, you just say okay. So I get that. What was the other questions? Because one of those was a good question too.
How do you handle setting and enforcing boundaries? Do you struggle with that? Have you ever set a boundary and realized it wasn't needed later on?
Oh yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Oh, but no. Oh, because when you said that, that was kind of a thing for me. Is like, if I tell you my boundary and you continuously cross it, in my mind, that means you just don't care.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's no other way you can like structure that in my head if I told you. And then maybe if I even reinforce it to be, like kind of say it again and you keep doing that, in my mind, I mean, you don't care. And you can't convince me otherwise once I've set the boundary and you continuously cross it.
I was thinking, because it makes me think like this. I got two things. It makes me feel like you don't even value me enough as a person to respect it. So that let me know what kind of level we're going to be dealing with each other anyway. Like if you in my workplace, all right, I'm just keep it short with you. And if you just somebody I just know, I'm just gonna keep it short with you too. That'll probably be the extent of our relationship. If it's a friend, then I'm like, okay, we're gonna take more deeper actions because it's like, what's bothering you? Blah 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 blah. The second thing I want to say is that, my preemptive. I know I'm old enough now to like, and I know myself, not all the way because I'm always learning, but like I know enough of myself now to know when a boundary is coming up. Like we about to have to face this. Okay, this is a simple example. If we going to the Six Flags or something, and I tell y'all like, bro, I don't mess with heights. That's just like what I don't do. We all go as a crew. Y'all all getting on like the dungeon drop or whatever their version is. And like people are begging me to get on the ride. Like, bro, I told y'all before we got to the moving part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not really gonna rock with the dungeon drop.
See, I don't do rides.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Real life, I don't do rides.
Okay, yeah. But okay, see, there you go. That's a boundary.
So you ask me if I want to go to Six Flags, I'll say, I mean, I don't know what I'll do, but if a group is going, I guess I can tag along.
But like, I guess I was just using an example to explain like
how you can,
because you can be preemptive. Like I'm not gonna be kind of like dense and just say like, oh, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I know most of my boundaries, so like when I see it coming, you know what I'm saying? Like or like those game nights that we have, like that's when I relax my boundaries because I do like to be asleep by a certain time. You know what I'm saying? But if it's a Saturday and everybody's here, it's like I ain't really got to, like this is the day that I relax that boundary. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, because I try to be clear with people, like you said. Like I'll let you know, like, bro, this is going to bother me.
Yeah, and I think honestly, because I was telling my therapist about this. We'll get into that another episode.
That boy grown.
But I was telling them, like, I don't have a hard time setting boundaries in my friendship. But at the same time, I've been knowing, like, I would say my newest friend I've been knowing at this point for 5 years. So it's like I've built a rapport and I know people for so long that, it's a certain level of comfort. So it's not awkward. I can just say it and like, I know how it'll be, how it'll be received. It's not as, it's like, I feel like me, my character after them years. So it wouldn't be perceived as though I'm, trying to come off as rude or be aggressive or anything or abrasive or anything compared to, like you say, somebody I just met. I might go about that differently because I don't really know him. So I don't know how he'll perceive things and react to it. Because I might just be trying to set a boundary and he might take that as a
like a
sign of aggression,
just dismissive,
or something like that. When that's not how I'm trying to come off at all.
Yeah.
But like I say, for me, friendships, just because I've been knowing the people I deal with so long, that's not really a thing. That's not hard for me. Family, that's not really hard because sometimes well, in my family, we kind of just
immediate family, yeah.
Similar and like-minded anyway, so we kind of just know each other because
it's like which
like probably means there are boundaries within that, but you know them, so it's not.
It's just synchronized at this point.
Yeah, and so, but it was like I can only think of I can't even really think of anything of my family because, like I said, I guess it's just. Heck, if I'd been knowing you for 7 years, at that point I'm only 7 years old. So I guess it was almost ingrained in you to just know a person.
Yeah, so like they don't do that.
And knowing a person, you know their boundaries too. So, and like I say, my family, we pretty consistent as far as personalities go. So no one has just, stepped
out of line
or just changed greatly in a short amount of time where you couldn't get acclimated to who they are now. So I don't really have that problem. Now, I think romantically is where I struggle the most with boundaries because it's it's like
you want to be inviting.
Yeah, if you want to create an environment, a welcoming and comfortable environment, it's like when you just getting to know someone, you don't want to do boundaries too soon because
because the pushback is a little
and it's
bit,
if I don't know you, like I'm just trying to figure out if I you as a person. So I don't some stuff is it can be too soon, but then again, if you wait too late and
it becomes something else
4 or 5 months down the line and someone does something, they're like, well, you never reacted before, and be like, well, it bothered me, but I just didn't know
if it was the right time,
or if it's you when you're going through that phase of the what's it called?
The puppy dog phase. The honeymoon
phase. When everything is
joy
bright
and bliss,
stars and rainbows. And
you could do.
You don't want to, and something is eventually gonna come and ruin that, but you don't want to.
You don't want to be the one to initiate it.
Yeah, so what's gonna ruin it? So you kind of just
let it be.
Yeah, you kind of just took some stuff under the chin.
And did it be that one fateful night?
Yeah,
when it all come out,
when you finally cross a boundary, hey, they cross a boundary with you, and it's just okay,
I got to say something now,
and then it shock them because it's you never came off. So it's for me, it's finding the perfect balance between not waiting to that long, but
it's funny that you say that because
it's also about how you communicate them and just being better at communicating your boundaries.
Yeah, that's true
because that's what it really comes off to. It doesn't have to come off as confrontational.
Yeah, it doesn't. It can be conversational if done right.
Yeah,
and it's funny that you were saying that because this is one of the last things I want to talk about. When you don't have boundaries or you have poor boundaries. A lot of people have poor boundaries. It says in work or in our personal relationships, poor boundaries lead to resentment, anger, and burnout.
Yeah.
And the days will come.
Yeah.
And the resentment becomes it's almost a product of self-guilt.
Yeah.
Because I resent you for not respecting this boundary.
Or you should know that by now.
Yeah.
It's that was never actually communicated.
Yeah.
Though, so it's
and then
know it, but I don't know it.
And that's why I say it's a product of self-guilt because it's I'm only so mad at you because I'm mad at myself. For not even telling you. And now it's just at a point where it's the resentment is so much just because now it's a norm. Instead of it being an incident, it's a norm now. And when it becomes a norm, it's something somebody's got accustomed to, and now it's you break it. That's when people well, you switched up.
Why are you acting different now?
Yeah,
it never was like this.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, when and I've dealt with it. I still struggle with it because, like you said, especially in the intimate relationship area, because you gotta I don't want to say you gotta soften your boundaries, but it's you run this risk assessment in your head, okay, they didn't know this, but I'm gonna let that slide because I don't want to be a dick. You know what I'm saying?
And then too, it's like depending on how you are in like romantic relationships, you might be more vulnerable and more softer in relationships compared to how you are
with the regular world. Yeah.
Because that's how I am. I'm not like as
a gorilla.
Yeah, I'm not as much of a gorilla when you're dealing with somebody on that level compared to just
whoever.
That's on the outside world.
I don't know.
So I think that's what kind of could create that struggle too, where it's like
I struggle with that a lot.
I don't want to come off like that because I don't want to have to do that.
Yeah.
Like I say, at the end of the day, when it comes to boundaries, it's just finding the appropriate way to communicate them without trying to come off as malicious or confrontational. And you just really trying to express something that's, like you say, for the betterment of you, mentally and physically.
I think so, because I don't know, but I just get so confused with that. Like, that's what boundaries get so confusing. It's in the relationship, the intimate relationship, like arena. Because like, I just never know when. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like, should I make this an important thing? Is it even that important? I don't. Man, that I'm gonna figure out, and we might dive into that in another episode. But like, I don't know. I think
that's a work in progress for both of us, man.
I mean, outside of that, hold on. You got something for the people? My bad, because I do not have.
No, man. If you good, I'm good.
I'm looking in these notes because this was a good article. It's from Positive Psychology.
Yeah, we'll have that in the bio.
Yeah, we'll put that in the description and stuff like that. I think I commented on everything I wanted to. All I would say is that, like, we always say know yourself, but like, don't be afraid to speak up for yourself. As crazy as that sounds, like, as much as like we take pride in ourselves, we have moments where we like let things slide, and we know we should have said something, and it takes a lot of courage, okay? Because like, a lot of people are looking out there to change their lives and make a new whatever. It kind of starts with things like boundaries, like no, I can't go to the bar every night. You know what I'm saying? Because I need to go to sleep. I need to like not drink liquor because I'm trying to lose weight or blah 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 blah. So I don't know. Stick with it, y'all.
Yeah, and don't be afraid that it might come off as confrontational. So you just don't. And
that's what it is.
And so you don't say anything out of fear. Just like I say, you just got to work on that in your approach. But at the end of the day, it needs to be said. Yeah.
And confrontation isn't also always bad. It has a bad connotation, but it's not always bad.
Yeah. So this has been episode 22.
22. We 22 in, man.
The Transferable Experience podcast. Remember to do all the things on all the things. And till next time.